So yesterday I made a video talking about how I only want to start taking $1 million trades, aka very high probability trades that I am very sure about. Well, last night at 3 a.m., this very obvious trade actually happened, and I let the Nexus know in real time at 4 a.m., guys. That's right. I do not take any breaks. So I let my VIP network know, the Nexus, that we had a picture perfect setup. I said, to give you perspective, if it wasn't crazy high, all max FOMO, whatever, there is a 95% chance this works. This is the setup. And in today's video, I want to share with you the video from this morning's live stream in the Nexus on me going over how this trade absolutely played out perfectly. I'm going to give you a little bit of perspective here. As you could see, I said 95% chance that it's going to work. I don't really set trades and then go to bed. I set this trade and I went to bed. Okay, well, I tried to. I couldn't sleep. How could you sleep with this kind of price action? Like, let's be real. But I was so confident in this trade. 1 TP down to the low, and you know, I made $1,000 overnight. Actually made a little bit more than $1,000 by the time I've taken, I mean, at this point I've taken a big portion of my trade out. But yeah, so, you know, I made it overnight, and this is something that I teach in the Nexus, high probability trades, no need to FOMO. You can get in from anywhere, whether it's a long position, whether it's a short position. We took a couple longs this morning. So, you know, I wanted to share this video with you because it's a very educational video, and I want to show you that anybody can do this, and you can get in from anywhere. So sit back, enjoy the setup, enjoy my explanation, enjoy my reasoning. Don't be a hater and say, oh my God, you're chasing shorts, whatever. We're scalping, baby. I'm going to show you exactly what to look for and how this was the easiest short trade of my life, and how I would, obviously we always suggest to, you know, practice good risk management. But if somebody put a gun to my head and said, you got one shot to do $1 million trade with your full account, 100% all in or nothing, this would have been the trade. So sit back and enjoy. And if you like the content, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. If you loved it, consider joining the Nexus so that you can get these real-time updates at 4 a.m. You know, I don't care what time of day it is. I'm here in the gutters, in the trenches with you guys, with the Nexus, because we are trying to, what are we trying to do? We are trying to, wait for it, control our narratives. Also, I haven't showered in 2 days. Enjoy the clip. By the way, guys, real quick before we get into the clip here, follow my Twitter. It's at Trader Geo _YT. Sometimes I post stupid shit, actually very frequently. However, sometimes I let you guys know exactly what I'm looking at. And, you know, if you were following my Twitter with the notifications on, which you should have for both YouTube and Twitter, you would know that I said, all jokes aside, I do believe the play right now is the backtest of the VWAP. That is exactly what we got. And then I shared my profits with you guys. So, you know, I was going a little bit buck wild last night. It was fun with that price action, but, you know, hit me up there and I'll see you guys there. All right, what did we see? I told you guys I was not eager to trade. I was waiting for, actually, let's go back in time. Actually, no. Yeah. I told you guys I was not eager to trade. I told you I wanted to see some form of range form before I started to trade, and that's exactly what we got. Okay, we got this here. Whenever you have a range, and again, you guys will learn this, but whenever you have a range, you're always counting your taps. You're always going to be looking for your Model 1 or Model 2 distributions to send price lower, or your Model 1 or Model 2 accumulations to send price higher. Okay, so we formed what seemed to be a nice range, okay, finally, and you didn't have any of that, right? When we were last week, when we were talking about how this could be your potential, you know, 1 tap, 2 tap, 3 tap, and then down, not every range that you are looking for is going to actually form as a range. We're trying to front run our ranges, okay? That's why we identify them from the high to the low. Like when I pull a range like this, right, and I'm watching it like this, I don't know how long this is going to range for before it just pops off, right? I don't know that. So you're basically trying to front run, and that's what we're trying to do. And then if it doesn't play out, then you just don't take the trade. Like you're waiting for the confirmations anyway, okay? So we had what seemed to be a good looking range. We had from this high to this low. That was our nice range. You can see we have these equal lows at this point, and you started to form this liquidity below. Let me get rid of this box. We don't need it. You started to form this liquidity below, okay? I understand everything's in up only mode. I understand as of late that they haven't been coming for any of the liquidity. But eventually, even if it is locally, they must come for something eventually. They have to. There's no, it is impossible for it to literally go up only. So while we're front running these ranges and everyone else is screaming for 100K, okay, we're looking for the signs when we're looking to see what we want to see in order to get into a high probability $1 million trade. Okay. And this was the first, my God, that is so loud. And this is the first high probability $1 million trade that we had, that I saw anyway. We had the liquidity below, and then we came up and we took, and we took the high. Guys, I'm sorry. Can you guys hear that? Let me know if you guys can hear like the drilling. It is so loud. Holy smokes. Let me know if you guys can hear that. Can you guys? I hope the mic is not. I hope the mic is not catching it. I can't even like hear myself. I gotta put headphones on myself. Hold on. But let me know if you guys can hear it when I'm talking, because I can't. Jeez, it's so loud. Mic test. Check. Check. Mic check. Mic test. Mic test. Check. Mic check. Mic check. Let me know. You guys hear drilling? Okay, barely. All right, cool. Okay, if it gets really bad, please just let me know, because I almost can't even hear myself. Like, I'm just putting myself in headphones now. So if it gets bad, just let me know. And my apologies, guys. All right. So we had, what do we have up here? Okay. We're on the 5-minute time frame. We already know that there is a potential range, and we already know that we're counting our taps always. Your taps are either going to go 1 2 3, or they're going to go 1 2 3. Always, always, always. Okay. So then we had a potential of this being an SFP, which in hindsight it was, but I knew in foresight. How did I know that? What you had based on your structure that I had drawn out on the 5-minute plus time frame, I believe it was also 10-minute structure as well, is we had high, we had low, we had high, SFP that high, and then we had break of structure. This break of structure confirms your higher time frame SFP. Okay, this SFP is only confirmed once you have an internal break of structure. And for the very first time since the last 2 weeks, we had a bearish break of structure at a high that made sense to potentially reject from. Right now, why was I 95% sure that it would work out? Or this is a 95% play when we're not at all-time highs, crazy up only. Is it still worth getting into? Well, clearly the answer is yes. It is still worth it, because it can't go up forever, right? So why not try it when you see the confirmation, right? And you have an easy target, right? You have a very easy target to attack. So how could you have gotten in? There's 2 ways you could have gotten in. You could have gotten in on this break alone. Actually, 3 ways technically. You could have gotten in on this break. That's one, and just started scaling in, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? You also know, and again, you guys will learn this for the ones that haven't taken the boot camp. When you go up, down, up, and then break a structure, this entire area becomes range-based supply, meaning anywhere in here now is an acceptable sell. Okay, this is all acceptable to sell. So while everybody else started longing again here, I was looking to add to my short. I actually was adding to my short here. Okay, so initially I actually entered up here. I entered up here because I was watching CVD and I knew we had bearish CVD. I knew we had, I think it was like 30 million longs trapped at the highs. I was also watching, let me see if I can actually pull up XO charts. Yeah, I can. This part, like, you know, is a little bit more advanced, but on the 15-minute time frame, and I was saying this in the chat yesterday, okay? On the 15-minute time frame, if you look at the volume, look at the bottom row here, the lowest row right now. You had $115 million come in. You had 86 million come in, yet the price is higher. So volume is diverging. Then you had 76 million come in. Price is higher, yet it is diverging. Then you had 30 million come in. Price is higher, right? Volume is decreasing, yet price is getting higher locally, okay? Then when you zoom in here, you can see 20 million longs at the high, 4.3 million longs at the high. All these longs are caught in the high, okay? Your delta is your delta is decreasing, okay, as you're coming up. So again, more divergences. You have this very strong point of control level between these two candles with a lot. So basically, and you have the value area of this candle, the light squares is your value area, the dark is your like value area low is the white square, and then value area high, like the white is your value area. So you have a lot of volume transacted at the very high, and that volume is longs, and those longs are trapped. They've done this before, and I've mentioned it before, yet they've just come back up for it because they're in giga up only, you know, stupid mode. But that's what happened here, okay? With that being said, once I saw that, and I saw the bearish CVD, when we came up here, I believe we had even more bearish CVD, if I'm not mistaken, but I already knew I was looking for shorts based on that structure flip confirmation. I was very confident in this, guys, and that's why I told you, you know, 95% chance, right? And by the way, this is what we teach here in the Nexus. These are the moves where you get in and it runs fast, okay? It runs fast. So assuming you got in here, you had anywhere north of, we'll call this a very bare minimum. A bare minimum right off the hop, you had a 3 risk to reward ratio, okay? Now, how you chose to manage that trade afterwards, there, again, you'll learn it. But that is all the trade management portion of it, okay? So this could have been, you could have even waited for this break here. Now, not everybody would have seen it, but you could have waited for this break, or this break right here. This up, down, up, down, up, down, like that. You could have entered on this break and then put your stop here for a 5.5 risk to reward. Now, you probably wouldn't have had all that. I'll tell you this. I did not TP until this low. So you probably would have had, at like, you could have had, let's say, between a 3 and 5 risk to reward if you knew what to look for. And then, you know, now we are where we are. But this is how I entered it. We had high, we had low, we had high, we had break a structure. We retested this range-based supply, and then down you go. When that happened, that was my nail in the coffin. At that point, I went to sleep. Well, I tried to go to sleep, and I was up for, you know, hours after that. But at that point, what I had drawn out was my new range-based supply. I had a limit order right here to add to my position. I'm adding to my position, guys. I don't care about getting the exact to the dollar nonsense. I care about the dollar going into my bank account. Okay, I don't care about the P&L shots. Who cares? So I added a limit order here. This one got tagged. I added a limit order here. This one did not get tagged. And I added a limit order here. And I moved my stop to like here. And I went to bed. Or tried to go to bed. That one got tagged. This one did not get tagged. This one did not get tagged. No problem. I was already in a decent position for what I was comfortable with, being that we were at all-time high. If we were not at all-time high, and I told you guys this in real time when it happened, I told you, if we were not at all-time high, I would have put, well, you should never do this. You should always practice good risk management, but this is how confident I was in the setup. I would have risked 100% of my portfolio on this trade. Like, if there was ever a trade, if someone put a gun to your head and was like, you have one shot, you're putting your whole account, you have one trade idea, go. I would have waited for this exact setup and I would have pulled the trigger here. This is my $1 million trade. Okay? This is what I teach here. You know, with all respect to the strategy that we announced yesterday with the EMAs and stuff, that's a little bit too arbitrary. It's a little bit, there's too much subjectivity. This is very objective, clean cut. This is the skeleton of trading. These are the bones, right? The candles are the bones. There's nothing on top of it. No flashy shit. I didn't even need an indicator for this. 0 indicators. In fact, the indicators would have probably fucked me up. This is what's going to change your life. Shit like this. No offense to anyone that longed, and congrats to anybody that did, and I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking it. I don't trade on the weekends, so I wasn't in it. But these, like, fairy tale, infinite, $10,000 candle days, it's not sustainable. 95% of traders lose, yet 95% of traders are in profit right now. How does that make sense? Because they're gonna start longing every dip. They're too comfortable right now. And you better believe we're going to have a flush out. Whether it's here, whether it's higher, I don't know. But eventually, they're going to take this back. It's coming back. The cup is coming home, baby. So does anyone have any questions in regards to how we entered the trade before we take a look at Bitcoin here?